Good.
Yeah?
You can start.
Alright. Good afternoon. In these 8 minutes, I will explain my concept just like everybody else. It starts with a short story. 5 years ago, I was living in London, and while doing so, walking on the street, I would see these very refined, very sophisticated, typical British gentlemen walking on the street in their nice suits. And seeing that, I would think, wow, that's how I want to dress every single day. After a year of living in London, I moved to China, where I just spent 4 years. Now, in China, I started looking for a tailor, a good tailor. It took me 1.5 years to find a really good tailor that could make very nice suits. Why did it take me 1.5 years? Because there was always something wrong. There was always something wrong with the suit, or with the lining, or with the trousers. And it was constant trial and error. After 1.5 years, I finally found this perfect tailor. And the great thing about him is that usually when you get a tailor-made suit made, you need about 5 fittings. You go to the tailor's shop, you choose your fabric, you choose your lining, he measures you, and then you go back for 3 or 4 or 5 times to make sure that the suit fits. Now, with my tailor, I only have to go once to pick the fabric, to get measured, and 3 days later, I could just go and pick up my suit. And that didn't count as a fitting, because all I had to do was put it on, and then I realized, okay, this is perfect. Now, I just came back from China. I've been here 5 months, and I have a small problem. And this is what this concept is about. It's not necessarily about just my personal problem, but I'll get to that in a bit. So, I just came back from China, and now, if here in Europe, I want to buy a suit that is the same quality as the quality I was buying in China, I am expected to pay between 1,000 and 1,500 euro. And that's a price I'm not willing to pay. So I did some research online, I checked a couple of websites, and there's a lot of competition. There's Suit Supply, there's iTailor. And they're really good, but most of these websites actually don't offer tailor-made suits. But what they actually do offer, is a great website that, in my opinion, in my eyes, from my viewpoint, it's way too complex. They give you about 1,000 different options, meaning, do you want a breast pocket? Do you want 2 breast pockets? Do you want 1 pocket here? Do you want 3 pockets? Do you want your lining? What color do you want? You can choose from 1,000 colors. Do you want your name here? How many buttons do you want? 1, 3, 6. It goes on and on and on. So I looked at all these websites, and without any nonchalance or arrogance, I figured I can do this better. So what I did is I simplified the whole processing order. Well, the process of the order. Wow, I'm slightly confused. Basically, I looked at all these websites, and I simplified the manner in which clients can order a suit. I simplified it to 3 simple steps, and the key here is simple. And another key of these 3 steps is that the first step is very innovative. It involves 3D body scanners. Now let me briefly say what I mean with 3D body scanners. Nowadays, if you want to buy it, or if you want to use a 3D body scanner, you have 2 options. There is the 16,000 euro option, 1/6, and the 100,000 euro option. The 16,000 euro option looks like an Xbox. It's a white thing, you hold it, and if I was to scan you, for example, I hold it in front of you, I rotate around you, and you cannot move for 4 minutes. If you even flinch, you have to start all over again. And to add to that, I need about 6 hours of work on a computer to process all the data. That's what you get for 16,000 euro. For 100,000 euro, you get a body scanner, a 3D body scanner, that looks like an igloo. Literally, it's like this big white thing. You walk in, and in 3 seconds time, 10 different cameras take simultaneously a picture of you. That data gets sent to a computer. The computer needs about 3.5 minutes to process the data, and I have all the measurements of the client. And the software even takes into consideration what clothes you're wearing, as in the thickness. So those are the 2 types of body scanners. Now let me go back to my 3-step process where the client can order a suit online from my platform. So the first step is you come to our store and you walk into our igloo, because we have the 3D body processor that is worth 100,000 euro. So the client comes into our store, walks into the 3D body scanner. I have his measurements. That's step one. Step two, nice and simple. The client can only choose between 3 different colors of suits: black, blue, and gray. That's it. That was step two. Step three, and that's my personal touch of sophistication, there is a silk lining, no polyester. It's a long story, but if you know a bit about fashion, it creates a huge contrast whether your lining is silk or it's polyester. And so those are the simple 3 steps. And you're probably thinking, okay, how does this differentiate me from the competition? Well, the way I look at it is I simplified the whole process. That's one way I'm differentiating myself. And another way I'm differentiating myself is that I am bringing in the whole 3D body processing aspect. And I'm not just selling suits here, I'm selling a whole experience of something very innovative. And to get back to what I was saying earlier about this concept not just solving my problem, my friends that are about my age, they're 23 years old, and they all graduated college, university. They got a really nice fancy diploma, degree, and they landed a nice job. Now all of a sudden they realize, shit, I cannot go to work in my jeans. I need a couple of suits. I did some market research, and these guys are willing to pay about €300 for a suit. Now the great thing about this is that in Europe, the market prices for medium quality suits, no, medium quality, not even good or bad, just medium quality suits, the price range is €150 to 500. And now my goal is to sell them at 300. Sell my suits at 300, but bear note, I'm selling suits at 300 that are actually worth €1,000. And quickly about logistics, I've given it a lot of thought, I've worked everything out. The data, I get the data from the 3D body scanner, I send that with the whole order to my tailor in China, and after 3 weeks, the suit gets delivered to your front door by FedEx. Now, one last thing I want to add, and this is how I'm going to finish. I've worked the whole concept out for doing my production in China. And this is a long story, but I even have a plan B of doing my production in Bangladesh. But what I really want to do is find a way to create suits here in Belgium and create a 100% Belgian product. I know this will increase the price, but I would certainly not underestimate the increase of value that would bring. I haven't done enough research for this, but it may very well be that clients might be willing to pay more if the product is actually made in Belgium. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Your English skills are good. It would be strange if it was not. When looking at your business model using the 3D scanner,
Yes.
I suppose that you will buy one?
No. This is the great thing of the whole concept as well, is that it's a lean startup, meaning I have basically no fixed cost. I've worked out a contract with a company in Antwerp who invests in 3D body scanners. They also have 3D printers. And the CEO made me an offer saying, look Thomas, your clients can come to our store, get measured, and we will send you the data for a part of your profit.
And how is the arrangement then? Do you pay rent? Do you pay per client who's coming over?
Yes, correct. No rent, no fixed cost. Basically, a percentage of every sale.
And the data they have to handle for you to send it to you?
Correct.
Okay. So you have one in Antwerp. Are
Yes.
there other places where there are 3D scanners right now?
I have no idea. The only thing I know is that these guys in Antwerp, their 3D scanner is actually Belgian, so that would be great. Belgian scanner, Belgian suits. And the software is so ridiculously new that they're still testing it as we speak right now. Because I came to them with this concept, they are increasing their pace of testing.
Yeah. The moment I come to you and I'm scanned, how long does it take to get my suit?
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
And I would even include an option for clients who are willing to pay a bit more through FedEx International, you can have your suit in 5 days.
Okay.
And this is, excuse my French, no bullshit. This is me being very, very transparent.
When I assume that you really want to start this company, and this is not just an idea, since you already made agreements with people. When do you plan to start with the sales of your company?
1st of April, so exactly in 29 days.
Okay, and would this be a big sale or just a test?
I already
sale?
started pre-ordering. I already started taking pre-orders, and it would be a soft opening, obviously. But even though I mentioned that they're still testing the software, it's pretty up to date. And to be really straightforward with you, I'm selling the experience as well. So if in the beginning the software is not completely up to date and the measurements are not precise, I can always make sure there's this gorgeous girl next to the scanner saying to the client, look, come here, we'll show you how the experience would be in a classic tailor shop. Let me take your measurements manually, and that way they have both experiences. But that way I'm also sure that the measurements are right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because is the investment worth using the scanner?
But that's the thing, there's basically no investment.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I've been at this for about...
What price will you need to pay to the shop or the 3D printer?
It's about 20%.
Or 3D scanner?
20%.
Of the revenue you
Yeah.
get, not of the gain you get.
Well, profit. 20% of the profit.
Okay.
And you're now one person.
Correct.
Normally we send 2 people to Virginia Tech because sometimes it's easier to have a sparring partner to do the presentation with you.
Mm-hmm.
Would you be open to add someone to the team just for the competition?
Absolutely, because so one thing I learned is that I am more of an entrepreneur and not necessarily a manager. If this goes well and the company grows, there will always have to be one individual who takes over the management aspects, so I can go on and start another entrepreneurial event.
Okay. I think we almost have to close here.
Okay.
I have no more questions.
I think the option to produce in Belgium would give an added value indeed, since people are nowadays thinking on where their product was made. So take this in account. Sorry.
Yeah, it's something I really wanted to finish with. Bless you. Something I really wanted to finish with, because even though I've worked this whole concept out and my tailor is ready to start tomorrow, what I would really like to do is find a way to get some textile and do it in Belgium.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Steve. Thank you, Julian.
Thank you,
And
Thomas.
good luck with the suits.
Thank you.